Do you think the square root of 450 minus square root of 200 is equal to 450, the square root of 450 minus 200, which is equal to the square root of 250? Wrong. Square root of 450 minus 200, 450 minus square root of 200. Let's simplify. 450 can be written as 225 times 2, and the 200 can also be written as 100 times 2. So let's simplify further. The square root of 225 times square root of 2, we have expanded this one, and this can also be written as square root of 100 times square root of 2. Now what is square root of 225? That will be 15 times 15 will give us 225. So the square root of this is 15 times square root of 2. And this, the square root of 100, that's 10 squared, will give us 100. So the squares will cancel and it will be 10 times root 2. So what do we do further? That will be 15 root 2 minus 10 root 2. What do we do next? We factorize. They all have the 2, so we maintain the root 2 in the bracket, and 15 minus 10 is out. 15 minus 10 is 5 times root 2. That is 5 root 2. So that's the correct answer. So this is equal to 5 root 2. That's correct. So what's the answer for the second one? I want you to pause this video and solve it for us to see. Answer in the comment section before I continue. Okay, so this is square root of 500, and don't think of doing it like this, minus 125, which is square root of 375. No, that's wrong, very wrong. So this one too, we have to break it down nicely. Square root of 500 can be written as 100 times 5, which is root of 100 times 5, minus, these two can be 25 times 5 is 125. So that will be root 100 times root 5 minus square root of 25 times square root of 5. Let's continue. Square root of 100 is giving us what? Like I always said, 10 squared is equal to 100. So that means the 2 will cancel the square root sign. So we are left with 10 times root 5 minus, this one too can be 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. So the 2 will cancel the square root, and we have 5 times root 5. So 10 times root 5 is equal to 10 root 5 minus 5 root 5. Yes. So what do we do next? Let's factorize as we do. The 10 minus 5 will be out, and you're left with root 5 in your bracket. 10 times 5 is 5 root 5. So this is the correct answer for this one as well. So this is simplified to give us this answer and not this. Should we take another one? Yeah. Number 3. We are to evaluate this one said, which is involving fraction. So take note, be careful of how you handle the fraction here. So let's see. 4 minus the square root of 2 divided by square root of 2. This is a radical, so we have to rationalize it. You multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, so that will be times root 2 divided by root 2. So multiply. Let's do our multiplication. 4 times the square root of 2 will be 4 root 2 times 2, the square root of 2 times square root of 2 will give us what? The square root of 2 times 2 divided by square root of 2 times 2. Okay, let's go further. 4 root 2 cannot be simplified, so we leave it like this, times 2 times 2, that is 2 squared, divided by this one too is 2 squared. You know, in indices, when the bases are the same and they are multiplying, you add the exponent. So that's a1 times a1 will be a1 plus 1, which is a squared. So that's what we are doing. The 2 times 2 is 2 exponents. They have 1 here, 1 plus 1, which is 2 squared. So the 2 will cancel the 2, and the 2 will also cancel the square root. So we are left with 4 root 2 times 2 divided by 2. Yeah. So what's next? Let me write it here. 4 root 2 times 2 divided by 2. Can we simplify further? Yes, this fraction can be written in a simple way. That's 4 root 2 divided by 2 times 2 divided by 2, because if the denominators are the same, you can still send this back to this initial post. So the 2 here can go into itself 1 and go here 2 times. That will give you 2 root 2. There's a mistake. This is subtraction sign, and I didn't write it. I made it multiplication throughout. So it's subtraction. Maintain your subtraction here. So this is divided by 1. So this one will be 2 will go into itself 1 and go here 1. So negative 1. Yes, so this is our final answer.